Hello everyone, this is Jill Delaney coming to you from Delaney Stables in the northeastern USA. Today we'll be talking to you about the sport of TREC, and the phase will be the control of paces. A big thank you to the many photographers in China that let us use these photos to develop the sport of TREC in the United States and around the world. The control of paces phase is one of three phases of a TREC competition, and its purpose is to help you develop clear communication with your horse about pace, so that during the orienteering phase, you can accurately get your speeds across the country. There is two sections to this phase. The first section is the slowest canter you can maintain, and the second section is the fastest walk you can maintain. Each section is worth 0 to 30 points for a total of 60 points for the phase. The COP, or control of paces, exercise happens through a 2-meter wide corridor that is 150 meters in length. This phase always starts with the canter section and finishes with the walk section. The start and finish lines are marked with a red flag on right and a white flag on left, as is all the phases of this competition. There is a start line timer and maybe a finish line timer depending on the methods used for timing. There will be 5 judges spaced down the corridor on alternating sides. 2 or more of these judges must see a penalty for it to be recorded, and penalties include things like stepping onto or out of the corridor, so onto the lines or out of the corridor, or breaking gate, and all 3 of those things will result in a score of 0 for that section of this phase. The order of go is the same in the control of paces phase as it was for the orienteering phase and the obstacle phase. The outfit for the rider is free choice but needs to be appropriate for riding. The rider's shoulders must be covered, and tall riding boots or boots with half chaps are required. The organizer or ground jury may decide to not let a competitor start if they're wearing inappropriate clothing or ill-suited equipment. Wearing an approved safety helmet is mandatory when mounted while on event grounds. All competitors must wear numbered vests provided by the organizers. Bridle numbers might also be required. As to the tack and equipment for the horse, a saddle is mandatory, but any style is allowed. This is one of the really cool things about this sport. Western, English, endurance, it doesn't matter as long as you have a saddle, because bareback pads are not permitted. Headgear is also mandatory, but it can be a bridle, a hackamore, or a head collar, and the bit is free choice if you choose to use one. The only other training aid permitted is the running martingale. So, for example, standing martingales or draw reins are not allowed. And in this phase, a whip of not more than 75 centimeters may be carried. So this is a timed score that happens down a 150-meter corridor. The canter section needs to have a canter that is 3-beated, but the quality of the canter is not a consideration. So the balance of the canter is not a consideration. The walk section, the walk must be 4-beated and flat-footed. A running walk is not considered 4-beat or flat-footed. Any break of the gait earns a 0. So if a horse goes from a 4-beated walk to a running walk back to a 4-beated walk, that section of the phase would score a 0. The same with the canter if they do canter, trot, canter. Stepping out of the corridor or on the marking lines earns a score of 0. So if we look to the right at the chart, a mark is also known as a score. And the walk In order to earn the most points, you need to walk the corridor in 67 seconds or under. In order to earn the most points in the canter section, you need to canter the corridor in 33.8 seconds or more. So if you do your canter section in 30 seconds, you will earn a score of 5 points. If you do your walk section in 76 seconds, you will earn a score of 21 points. So the total for the phase would be 26 points. If we take a look at this slide and we start at the bottom and work counterclockwise, the bottom photo is showing the start line where you enter at the canter. This rider here is entering at the canter. And then you canter down the corridor, maintaining the canter and staying in the corridor as slowly as you can do that for up to 34, 35 seconds. And then at the other end, when the judges are ready, they'll let you know. You walk back at the fastest walk your horse can maintain. If your horse trots or does a running walk or jumps out of the corridor, your score will be a 0 for that section. That concludes the introduction to the control of paces phase for the sport of TREC. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me at delaneystables@gmail.com or check out our website at delaneystables.com.